Turd Podcast, episode 221, Lamar, Transmutators.
We combine Transformers, Independence Day, the Apocalypse, so you can go, Mad Max or, any, end of the world scenario, and Philippines to make this movie.
Well, unlike the movies that we saw the previous 2 weeks, this one actually was a B movie that was entertaining. So, our first category, as always, what did you think of the story?
Okay, so, of course, aliens come and hit Earth, and they start off looking like machine type of like invaders, but then when they get to Earth, they look like weird humanoids. And then they have this thing where they send out drones that kill like the actual humans and stuff like that. But we have our hero Christos, who I guess we can say his family died, and then he is I will say one of the top ranking members of the protection of one of the last cities on Earth, Paradise. It's like this plot where they find a way to take junkyard stuff and make big mechs to fight the alien invaders.
Yeah. Well, I loved it. It was crazy enough, but also they explained enough of it. Like they set out the universe and everything that was going on and everything. So I'm going to give it 1 point.
I agree. It's crazy enough that it works.
Yeah.
It's a lot going on, but it mixes together.
Yeah, it's a good mix. A lot of fun. But our next category, Lamar, is what do we think of the characters?
Okay, here's the problem. Christos, he's the hero. There's one guy that kind of works under him, kind of. He's like the second in command, but then you have the top leader of Paradise. Then you have the girl that he runs into who has a kid, her little sister. And then there's other little kids from Paradise. Then there's a blind girl. Then there's a top brass from the Locust. And it's so many people.
You don't like when there's too many characters.
If you're going to have that many characters, or maybe I missed something, I feel like they were just there to just be, oh, this is the person that just does that.
Well, they had some of it. Like the blind girl had the ability to like see what was going on to her, so that was cool.
That made sense. But what was the point of the girl that had the little sister?
I don't know. They were part of the resistance and stuff. So
yeah.
And then the villains, they had the main villain, and he had a sidekick there. Then there was the guy that was a snitch, but then he tried not to be. So
yeah, it's like that kind of character. It's like they only wrote him in so he could be like a snitch character that could lead to him like redeeming himself. It's like weird.
I guess for me, I like the characters. No, there wasn't any like real standout. Like even the hero of the story, like he's not like super badass or anything like that.
Yeah.
So what do you give it for characters?
I give it half a point.
Yeah.
What do you give it?
I agree.
Half a point?
Half a point, yeah.
Okay.
Well, our next category, Lamar, is what do we think of the action?
Boy, I tell you. Okay, we found this out. $1.1 million for this movie. It was filmed in the Philippines, and they did everything. You have car chases. You have bike chases. You have martial arts. You have lasers. You have big mech stuff. A smorgasbord of every type of like sci-fi action you can think of.
It was full of action, borderline chaos at times, but in the way they do the action, like in those, like in the Eastern cultures or whatever, is what makes it cool, because it had all that kind of the stuff that we don't really do here anymore, I guess.
Part of my grading is going to be they did a lot, but on a shoestring budget, some of it came off kind of funny. Like, for example, there is a young man riding on a bike, and he jumps off a ramp, and he's turning around and shooting, and you can tell they just turned his body in the air. So it's like one of those where it's like, I'll give you points for that. You tried. I appreciate the try.
It had some exposition and stuff like that, but it never lagged for too long. Like, it was just a good amount. So what do you give it for action?
I'm giving it a 1.
Yeah, I agree. 1 point.
Yes.
Our next category is a very fun one. Special effects.
Good Lord. Well, you had green screen.
Yeah.
With the budget they had. CGI with the budget they had. Laser blast with the budget they had. It wasn't terrible. I'll say that.
It's kind of like what I was hoping it to be in a way. Like,
Exactly.
it's not perfect, but it's charming. And it fits with everything that they're doing, the wildness of it.
I
So,
agree. You took the words right out of my mouth. Like
yeah,
charming. It's very charming,
it
Joe.
is. I
Yes.
guess I'll have to give it 1 point for special effects.
Agreed. 1
Yeah.
point.
And our last category, Lamar, is sequel potential.
I looked it up. This was shot in like 2007, but it just
Oh,
got
wow.
released last year.
Oh,
I got
that's
it like a
interesting.
well, it got released here in America like May
Okay.
23rd, 2023.
Hmm.
So it's been a long time. This like developed a cult like following.
Yeah.
Do you think they can try to do like, well, like Top Gun and then Top Gun Maverick, like like Independence Day, where
Yeah,
it's like everybody's older and they bring everybody back? Do we want to see that, Joe?
I do. I very much do. Because I did enjoy this. And I think they can make it even wilder. Cool. I don't necessarily think you have to bring back the same people. Like, you could tell a different story in the same universe.
True. Yeah.
So because of our glowing review on the Perfect Turd podcast here, it takes off, and everyone starts watching this movie and everything. Like, maybe they'll want to make another one.
I wouldn't be mad if they did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm giving it 1 point for sequel. I enjoyed this.
Agreed. Yes.
Well, Lamar, we've tallied the score then, and this movie gets a really solid 4.5 out of 5.
We needed this, man.
We
We
did.
really needed this. We've had a bad string of just being fooled by what we thought were going to be enjoyable, at least decent B movies. And
Yeah.
this one came along and brought like everything to the
Yeah.
table.
Everything. It's
Yeah.
so good, Lamar, that it doesn't require time travel to fix.
Whoa.
That's how good this movie is.
Whoever made this, I hope you're listening right now. Because if there's any point that you can, bring up to say we need a sequel, Joe did not end a video saying that we need time travel. Good Lord.
Yeah, it's good. Does that wrap it up then, Lamar?
It does, man.
Yeah. Well, Transmutators. Peace.
Deuces.